Welcome back to Talk Automotive, the channel from a car lover to car lovers. We are back, people, and I'm glad to be back as well. Sorry for the delay in uploading. I know there's been quite a long period since the last video to this video. There's been a lot going on. I'm not going to get into any of it now, but I will in a future video. There's enough doom and gloom and sadness in the world at the moment with the whole coronavirus. So let's focus on something fun, and that's modifying minis. In today's video, we are going to install the carbon wheel into my F56 JCW. This is one of the best interior mods in my opinion. It just sets up the whole interior. It also starts off the new direction for the JCW in terms of a full carbon interior that I'm going to be pushing. And this is the first modification I wanted to do in that process. So what we'll do today, we'll go through the full installation process of how to take off your old steering wheel. I'll show you how to take the electronics from your old steering wheel and put them into the new one. Because if, like me, you order them without any of the components, then you need to know how to do that. Very simple. And then we'll actually install that in the car and have a look what it looks like. The modification is difficult at times and it will test your patience, but stick with it, a bit of perseverance and you will be fine. So without any more interruption, let's get fitting a new carbon wheel to the JCW. So you have to undo your battery in there on that 10mm bit there. You need to take your battery box cover off, and then you'll need to take your water ducting off in order to get to your battery cover. So you take that off. It's two 10mm screws there that go there, sorry, and then these twist out lock bolts. Pop that out, and then three 8mm on your battery box, and pop that out as well. So top tip when working with an airbag, disconnect the battery. You need a 10mm spanner that goes onto here. You undo that, you have to get under here so you can't use a ratchet, and I've got a strut bar in the way as well. It was a bit annoying. Undo that, pop that out, and then stuff a towel in so it definitely won't make a connection. And then I'd leave it for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, even half an hour, and just let all the battery charge discharge out of all the electronics in the car, just to make sure that nothing goes wrong when you're messing with an airbag. So we have it off. Great news. I'll show you the three holes you've got to push into now. It is a nightmare. I'm not even going to lie, I had to get new tools. Just didn't think I was going to be able to do it, but get a Torx 20 or Torx 25 bit. Depends on how thick the drive is. I went for a T20, but now I have it off and I'm very happy. I'll take it off now and then I'll show you how to install the new steering wheel. Excellent, that's off, which is good. So you have to unclip this connector here and this one up here. That one just pops out and that one needs a little bit of work. But these are the bits here that you can see where the metal rods hold on to, and they're on the back of the airbag here, so it's difficult to do with one arm. But you can see they're pretty stiff. That one's not got much movement in it. The other one over here. So these are things you're pushing on. Now, it looks really simple when you have it out, but I'm telling you now, it's definitely not. Okay guys, what I want to do is just show you in a bit more detail where these three holes are. So 1, 2, 3. And what you're trying to do is on each of these clips here, there is that's where the metal bar sits behind. It sits right tight behind there. And to be completely honest, it is solid to get them off. It isn't easy. So what you need to do is you take your Torx. I used a Torx 20 bit. And then what you do is you take it underneath here. So this would be sat on the car, and you find the hole and you go through. Now you want to go through at an angle. Let me try and show you that here. Can you see the screw bit? What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bit of yellow tape on the Torx bit, and then you can see where you have to go. Hopefully that is more visible now. So you go through here and then you push against the rod that's sitting there. What you need to try and do is push it forward, across. Try and get this closer for you. So let me take the tape off now. You can see where it's coming through. You want to push it up towards you, and that's where you'll meet the metal wire. Again, if you get in your car footwell and shine a torch up, you will see the metal bar. You then have to push it up, away from you, and then up again, so that you're basically sort of getting hold of it, pushing it to the edge, down, and then up and around. It will make a good click and it will release away from here. Again, you do the one at the bottom. The bottom one is probably the easiest because you literally just only got one clip to get it over. The others, you've actually got two. So if you can tip it away from you like that, it will pop away. But as you're doing that, you need to push it through again. Just make sure that you do use a Torx bit because you don't want to damage the airbag that's inside. So it's 1, 2, 3. That's the hardest bit of getting this off. But I just wanted to share that with you a bit more in depth in terms of these clips right here. So what you need to do now, crack this bolt here. Remember, there'll be no locking. The wheel won't lock because the battery's unplugged. So you have to hold it with your knees. Undo this bolt here, and we'll do now. Then we'll have to wiggle the wheel, get that off. Then we'll take it inside, take these parts off here, transfer them over onto the new wheel that's there, and then install it back into the car. And there we go. It takes a bit of, I did break it before this started, but it takes a bit of going at. Cool, so that bolt's out. And now the wheel will come off, so we just have to wiggle it back and forth, side to side, and shimmy it towards us and it will come off. So to get the multifunction parts out, haven't worked out the bottom one yet, but the side, this one here, it's got a Torx 20 bit, I think, or Torx 10 bit at the back there, and that is all right. Oh god, there. And then you just have to wiggle it free until these three pop clear. Then we just need to disconnect this because this has already got it in. But we've got to thread the control wire. So I'll just remove them and then I'll put them onto the new wheel. They're removed. I just had to pop those 3 holes you can see there. Pop the 3 holes you can see there, plus 1 screw hole. And the same there, and then you have to undo the wire that goes all the way on there, and it leaves you with that. Apologies about the dog towel, but I didn't want to scratch the work surface, so now I'm going to install them on the new wheel. Cool, so that was really easy. You just feed the wire exactly the same way that it came out, and then pop the things back in, the little push clips back in, make sure it's all nice and tightly down. The bottom one's a bit more difficult, you have to squeeze it in a bit, but that's on now as well. So flip it over, pop your 2 Torx screws back in there, and then we'll go and fit it in the car. So what you have to do now is you have to line up, see right there, with that flat part in there. So you got to line them up, and then just wiggle it on. It's on, that's lined up, and then you just pop that back in there, and then it's about putting the bolt in. So obviously, every time you do a bolt, make sure you hand tie it first, make sure you're not threading it. Like so, and then we tighten that up with a 16mm until it's really, really tight, and then we'll install the airbag. So all we have to do now is the clips that were there, one has to go in there and the other has to go in there, and then we push it back on so that it clips onto these clips, the ones that we had to undo. Push it until it clicks, give it a pull back or two, and I'll come back to you then. And it's in, all on. Looks unbelievable. I've just done the mini bits, black surround there. Got this from Sherratt's, it's the LCI badge, make it red. And then again done that on the back as well, done the mini bits, black surround for the chrome. So that is looking pretty awesome. Cool, so now time to put the battery back on, make sure everything's working. I'll take the towel out, I'll put the battery on, tighten it. Right, everything's back in, all reconnected. Engine bay's looking good. And yeah, let's start off in the moment of truth. we go, guys. That looks brilliant. I'm so happy with how it looks. Completely different to the stock and just sets off the whole interior. I think Mini should look at doing this as a standard or an upgrade option when you're buying the Mini. Again, thanks so much for watching, it means a load to me. First video back, so sorry if a bit rusty on the editing, but it will get better. So the next video coming up will be a walk around of the F56, all the mods we've done so far and what I want to do next. So stay tuned for that, but again, thanks for watching. Until next time, peace.